spin. Over the next 24 hours, you're going to hear a lot about the debate of whether we are or are not in a recession. Tomorrow, the big economic indicator numbers come out, more of them on Friday. In fact, the White House is so desperate to say we aren't in a recession, they actually won't define it. And of course, the president says everything's fine.
We're not going to be in a recession, in my view. The employment rate is still one of the lowest we've had in history. It's in the 3.6 area. We still find ourselves with people investing. My hope is we go from this rapid growth to steady growth. And we'll see some coming down. But I don't think we're going to, God willing, I don't think we're going to see a recession.
Truth is, to most Americans, it doesn't matter if we are or are not in a technical recession. Things cost more, our paychecks don't go as far, layoffs have started. So our associate producer Caroline hit the streets of Chicago, one of America's bluest downtowns, to figure out if Americans believe their president, and more importantly, do they really believe the administration when it talks about the economy?
All right, well, President Biden is saying that gas prices are going down. Are you guys feeling that at all? Do you believe him? Yes? They are?
Yeah, gas prices are going down, but the president's going to say that to ease people's minds, but he really doesn't control gas prices. It's the world market that controls that.
Yeah, they're going down, but are they going down because of anything he's doing? Absolutely not.
President Biden is saying that gas prices are down. Are you guys feeling that at all or not?
No.
Not at all?
No, they're going to be up until he leaves office.
He said that one thing and then kind of did the other. Yeah, I don't really believe him too much.
Do you believe him when he says we're not going to enter a recession?
No, not one bit.
I'd like to. I really would. But at the end of the day, it looks like we still might.
No.
Do you believe
anything he said?
He said that?
Yeah.
No.
No, you know? No. No, not at all?
No. Probably not.
No. No, not at all?
No, I don't.
Do you believe President Biden when he says that we're not going to enter one?
No.
No, not at all?
Not at all.
Nobody can guarantee, given the turn of events with the COVID and everything.
I think we're heading toward one.
Heading towards one?
Yeah, and the fact that we have a great president like Mr. Joe, we're going to be in deeper if we don't get things back.
More from Caroline's interviews tomorrow. We'll be in Washington, actually, at the White House when the numbers come out. But she found a feeling of profound anger across the political and economic spectrum that the administration does not understand their pain. People are angry about how the administration is treating them over economics. Take, for example, this from Mr. Biden's chief economic advisor.
I think that our economy is more resilient to the types of challenges that we faced. For example, with respect to food, we're a net exporter of agricultural commodities, and obviously the high prices are hitting Americans very hard, but they're in a way that is different from some places that are facing famine, for example.
Right. Who cares you're paying more? At least you have food. At least you aren't starving. Let them eat cake and stop complaining. What makes that answer worse is these headlines, because it turns out there are Americans who are starving. South Dakota, Feeding South Dakota, that's the food bank there, sees rising demands and falling supply numbers. From Ohio, food bank going bust as donations fall, needs and costs rise. California, inflation making it tough for Central Coast food banks to meet the need. Florida, Central Florida food pantries call for donations. Donations are down, demand is up, and the trend lines for both are going in the wrong direction. Meredith Knott, president and CEO of the St. Louis Area Food Bank, is with us. Meredith, you do the Lord's work, so to speak, truly. How bad is it getting? How bad do we have? How long and how bad could it get?
Well, first, thanks for having me. The simple truth is that things are not good right now. Here at the St. Louis Area Food Bank, we cover 14 counties in Missouri and 12 in Illinois. And I can tell you, we have distributed over 1 million more meals in the month of June than we did in the month of January. We saw an 18% increase just in the month of June. Our double-digit increases continue to rise. The need is real. It is affecting everybody. Costs are up for everyone, including the St. Louis Area Food Bank, and product donations are down. So it is really a problem.
Well, product donations are down. What people have to donate money-wise is down. Andrew Roberts, one of our producers who volunteers at food banks, and we're proud of him for doing it. He talks about how many more people are coming, how people are running out of food. How do you say to a family that's coming in, nobody goes to a food bank by choice, that we're sorry, we just don't have enough for you?
Well, we're very grateful here at the St. Louis Area Food Bank that we haven't had to say that. Our team is working very, very hard to solicit product donations. But the sad reality is that when the donations aren't coming in at the volumes that we need, we have to raise money to go out there and buy product. So we're going out there, we're leveraging our buying power. We're working with the incredible network of Feeding America to really try and negotiate prices to keep food on the tables. We're talking with our farmers, with our growers, our manufacturers, our distributors. Anyone who can help us out and be part of the solution is welcome to come to the table. And we're so grateful for so many that are stepping up.
And we should all be grateful that they are grateful for you. Last question. How bad can this get? Because at some point, more people keep coming. The people who are donating can't anymore. You're the canary in the coal mine, so to speak. And I, from experience, you've got to think that this is going to go on a lot longer and get worse.
Well, I never asked that question because sometimes I don't like the answer, but I can tell you that we are doing everything we can, and we will be here as long as we can to be that lighthouse, that beacon of light, to provide not only food, but hope. That is very, very important to everybody, and we will get through this together no matter how long it takes.
Well, with people like you, people like Andrew as well, what a change from January to June. St. Louis is my hometown, so it's personal when you talk about it. Thank you very much. It was good to see you, Meredith.
Good to see you, too.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.